Sri Lanka. This is Yasmin Yusuf from DecibelLK, and I have like a band you need to get with this year because they've got a sound you need to hear. And when I tell you need to hear, you need to hear. But first, introductions are necessary. It's the Deserted Band from Canada, and we've got Harry and also Chris. And let's get to know you guys, man.
Go ahead, Chris.
Harry, you want to take the stage as the lead singer?
Okay, fine. All
Take
right.
it, take
it. All right. Hey, I'm Harry Last. I'm the lead singer of Deserted, little small band from Vancouver, Canada. I've been doing music now for, I want to say 14 years, 14, 15 odd years. Flip-flop between bands. I think I finally found a nice group of people that I think we gel together really well as just as people and as friends, but also as musicians. Yeah, we've just started working with a producer, which is really, really exciting. And I got a bunch of songs ready to go out, and we're just playing a ton around Vancouver, and hopefully going on to Vancouver Island and up to the interior of BC. So pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, for me personally, I've been in a couple projects, but this one probably is my favorite so far. Just singing and playing guitar, and that's basically my life.
All right, stick like glue then to this one.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, you are no stranger to Sri Lanka in a way.
No. Kahomida. My name is Chris. Actual homegrown talent here, if you can believe it, despite my pseudo complexion. The drummer for Deserted. Now, I originally grew up in Sri Lanka for it's about 10 years. Traveled here, there, and everywhere. And now finally landed here in Vancouver. And for me, I've been playing drums since I was 11. And over the years, I have got to play with a couple bands here and there. For example, I think before joining Deserted, the biggest band I played with was with Chats Fernando. And we had played the Star-Studded Rainbow Talent Show back in, I think, was it 2012? So that was the biggest like band experience I had because we played at the Virama. Was it the Vihara Maha?
No, Nelapokana.
Oh, Nelapokana. Yeah, there we go. We played at Nelapokana, and I think the audience attendance was like 500 people, something like that. It was crazy. There was a lot of people there. So that was my biggest band experience to that date. But now finally found my way into Deserted, and yeah, I'm loving it so far. We've played a couple of gigs so far. We just released a single last month on the 6th. And yeah, so far so good. Loving the time here.
And obviously there's more people missing. You want to do a quick intro of them?
Yeah, so our bass player and sort of pseudo band leader in a way, he kind of runs all of our sound for us, named Sean Hebert. He's a great dude, great bass player. He's kind of keeps us together. He's kind of the glue that holds us all together, if you know, I had to put a title on it. But yeah, he basically runs all the tech side of the band as well. So when it comes to, you know, in-ear monitoring, our tech for like sending to front of house, things like that, and even our recording, he does all of that stuff, which is really, really awesome. And then the other member we're missing is Jackson Russell, who's actually brand new to the band. We just introduced him as part of the band back when we released the song on December 6th. So he's pretty new, somebody we got to know really well. He's a part of another great band, which I'd love to shout out, called the Evan Williams Project. Another amazing band that people definitely need to check out. Those guys are awesome. But yeah, we saw them live, liked Jackson, decided I'll have that. And now Jackson's part of our band. But yeah, those are the two we're missing here. And yeah, it's an awesome group of people, awesome group of musicians. Yeah.
And thankfully, we all happen to have similar interests in music, which also panned out quite nicely.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
And your sound, it's just so reminiscent of that really good 2000s, you know, metal that came out. And man, it's just, for me, someone who's lived through that period, it's like, yeah. So when Sashi sent me the track, I was like, whoa, you know what? This is commercial. Like, but for him, it was like Sri Lankan radio, bro. We don't play that.
Yeah.
We need to play stuff like that again. Because
Yeah.
I remember
because I remember there was one radio station in Sri Lanka that played
TNL
music. I think that was at TNL. Yeah, TNL.
But
Rocks,
there are no
right?
more. Yeah.
Really? What happened to them?
They sold the station, and then it got to some other management, and now they exist, but nobody, like, it's not as
exists in the ether.
Yeah. No one knows what's going on there. And unfortunately, I don't know if they keep up with, rock and metal from
Mhm.
now, but here's hoping, especially if you're watching
Yeah, here's
this.
opening. Yeah, please, Sashi, please.
Let's
Need
do a
more of
rock
it
and
across the
metal
Yeah,
world for
show.
sure. Yes. Yes.
heck yeah.
And yeah, so getting back to the sound of you guys, who inspires you guys to make this all come together?
Well, I mean, we of course all have our own inspirations, but if we had a couple common inspirations to list, I'd probably say maybe like Dayseeker. And Harry, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Dayseeker.
No,
Yep,
go.
there we go.
Ah, ah, ah.
Dayseeker.
I see what you're doing there.
Mhm. Yeah, I got some Dayseeker, a little bit of Bring Me the Horizon. At least for me personally, I take inspiration from bands like Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, Alter Bridge, so many of these amazing rock bands. And then Harry as well has his own inspirations as well, amongst like the common stuff like Dayseeker, Bring Me the Horizon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Spirit Box you can add to that list for sure.
Mhm.
Architects is someone we sound very similar to.
Mm.
Asking Alexandria is someone we've been compared to a lot. Yeah, bands like that I think are big inspirations to us. Bands like Dayseeker that we keep bringing up here and Bring Me
Mhm.
the Horizon, I think are some of the main ones for us. Just I think it's for Dayseeker, it's the really strong vocal performances that we're trying to pull from.
Mhm.
For Bring Me the Horizon, for me specifically, I love the way that Ollie carries himself on stage.
Hmm.
And when I'm on stage performing, I really kind of embody that look, whether it's the outlandish outfits that he wears. You can ask the band.
Mhm.
I'm always wearing the most outlandish thing that I could possibly find when I go on stage. Um, but yeah, it's those little things that I think, for me personally as well, I love to take from it, from those kind of bands is more stage show and really powerful vocal performances. Alter Bridge was a band that Chris just brought up there. Another band, Miles Kennedy is probably one of the best singers in the world, just generally. But yeah, and those are the kind of things I think we like to take from those bands, just to add on to what Chris was mentioning there.
Yeah. And of course, putting our own flavor on things as well.
Of course. No
Yeah.
ripoffs here. No ripoffs.
Exactly.
And so you guys released your first single, Animals, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Last year. Would you
Mhm.
want to shed the story behind the single?
Coincidentally, we released that song on my birthday, so it was like a pretty good birthday present for me. So, and the
Yeah,
song's
we
been doing
did.
pretty well, so no complaints here. But Harry, do you want to take the lead on that?
Animals, as a song, I've been working on for a while. I kind of had the bones about it for a good couple of years, even before I think the band kind of sat down and started writing and focus on things together. The song really comes from a place of just a mass hatred for consumerism. Generally speaking, I think the band has an agreement that we don't really like the idea of consumerism and the idea of like things being pushed and marketed in your face, which is ironic in
Mm-hmm.
terms of what we have to do as musicians in order to get our music in front of people. But that's kind of where the song kind of pulls from emotionally for myself when I was writing down the lyrics. It's really just sort of an fu to people that are just throwing things in your face, to big companies that are just all they're doing is just trying to get more and more and more from you, microtransactions, things like that. And I think that's a world in which the band shares a combined hatred for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I wrote from. After coming to the band with it, it has expanded so incredibly. I think it started off as this really long song that really didn't have a lot going on, and took it to the band. We ended up getting paired up with a producer, Darren Grand, who was incredible. He was a secondary to Bob Rock on some of the Metallica records, so he's made his way, and he took us in. Basically, we rewrote the thing together, with the producer's help. Some of the drum beats that Chris came up with are just incredible stuff. The riffs were just expanded on and expanded on. Some of the lead lines came together, and yeah, it just kind of all just worked out. You know what I mean? It all just
Mm-hmm.
kind of fell into place, I think, and it was just the perfect song to start with. And I'm so happy we were able to do it on Chris's birthday too. I think that's
Yeah.
makes it even more special for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after playing the number of shows we had, I think it's safe to say it's become the crowd favorite. at least from what I can tell. You know, sitting in the best seat of the house, from what I can tell. Fan favorite.
Yeah,
I can understand why, because man, that's just sorry.
So we just got to get people singing along next time.
Yeah, get those lyric videos out and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so single one out and done. What's next?
We actually have a single, which is the next single coming out on January 24th. A single entitled Smile.
This is an exclusive, by the way. It hasn't been announced.
So here you go, some insiders info for you. But yeah, so the next song called Smile is going to be out January 24th. And that one, a little bit more on the heavier side, but a fun one to play nonetheless. And I feel like it really gets the crowd going, really kind of stirs up the energy. And obviously, as a band, you really want to conjure up that energy within the fans and the people watching you, because then you can feed off that and then give a better performance for them. And it's just this like big cycle of happiness. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, Harry, do you want to give a little bit more backstory if you can?
Yeah, sure. Smile is one of the first ones that I think we sat down together as a group, and the four of us really all had our hands in it, like from its inception. You know what I mean? Whereas Animals was something that I guess was written and then brought, and everybody kind of added their pieces to it, and we kind of rewrote it. This one kind of started as like, let's write a song. And everyone kind of threw their pieces in, and it all just came together into one big chunk. It's special just for that alone, I think, and the fact that we're really proud of that one specifically. I think it's probably one of, like Chris was saying, probably one of our heaviest, probably one of the most fun to perform, I think, of the songs that we do perform. That one it touches on mental health and the stigma surrounding mental health. I think that we still are at a stage where we can't talk openly about mental health without it being perceived in a negative light. And that's kind of what the song dives into without giving too many spoilers. The idea is that a lot of people, like when you go to somebody for help, for assistance, when you've got depression or anxiety, or sometimes maybe even worse things going on in your brain, you kind of just get told, just smile, just be okay. Everything's going to be fine. And it's a lot of not acknowledgement of feelings, not really, looking to assist and help. And those are the kind of themes that the song touches on. So for all of those reasons combined, this one's a very special one for us, and we're very, very excited to share it with the world.
Woo! And that's coming out when?
January 24th.
Whoa!
Coming up.
So
yeah. And
very soon.
And just for fans and potential fans watching this, do you have any upcoming shows like later this month or in February?
Oh, that's we have tons of shows. So the first thing is in February we're going to be making our way over to Vancouver Island. We're going to be playing down in Victoria with a band called Decryptor, and that's going to be one of the first shows in 2025 we do. I think we're looking to try and schedule something in Vancouver to bridge that gap, but February is the first one that we've got confirmed, set in stone. We're going to be heading over there. In March, we're going to be heading up to the interior BC around Kelowna and Penticton. We're going to be playing Dunnanzies, and we're going to be playing The Hub. The end of March, we're going to be playing a part of a group, and this is another exclusive because this is not being announced or anything. We're going to be playing a nice show at the Cobalt here in Vancouver called Spring Breakdown, which is going to be really, really cool. It's a little festival that some people in the metal scene are putting together. And then in May, we're going to be going back up to the interior again, Kamloops, I think Clancy's Pub. And then in and around there, we're just going to be playing a bunch of shows around Vancouver that we can. A lot of it you can find on our page. Will be, as things get released, they'll all be put in a big old list and our link in our bio. But then, we're looking forward to all the shows we've got going on, because I think we've honed together our live show, and we finally got like a good string of gigs where we're just going to be playing so consistently. It feels really good because it was a bit of a struggle. I know Chris could attest to this, to actually get out and get gigs and play gigs with the song out now and seeing kind of the reception it's had and the other songs coming out here in the future. I think it's helped us a lot to get recognized, for want of a better word, as a legitimate act, if that makes sense. So yeah, really excited. Really excited.
Which I think if you could point back, I would probably say that was the point which we started working with Darren, was the point where I think we could say that, okay, this is an actual thing. It's not just for fun, right? We can actually turn this into a legitimate thing. I think for us, that was the turning point, and that was last year, April, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think
Yeah.
that's about when we started things off. Yeah, and yeah, we've done 3 songs with him now, which are all gonna come out this year, one at a time.
Is there anything that you want to add in closing?
For me, all I'll say is this is some of the most fun I've had doing music with this group of people. I think it's been just an excellent experience generally, just to be able to write, perform, and play music with these lovely individuals. Chris especially has been awesome. I think him and I get along really, really well, just even outside of music, liking similar bands.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, like, just being able to hang out, go to shows, and exist as friends is so important to being a part of a band. So I think for me personally, this has been one of the best experiences musically that I've had, just period, along all of the projects that I've done. So we're really, really excited because in the summer we will have finished our first EP. So we're going to be dropping the EP around the summer, around June, July-ish, I think is the target date. We haven't finalized everything set in stone, so don't hold me to that. But yeah, and after that, it's off to the races for us, I think, and I'm really, really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I think we definitely have a good synergy going on between all of us, and I think that definitely lends to making quality music. And it's also something that I guess people can relate to from the audience. It's like, okay, these guys are actually having fun. They're connecting well. It's like, this is a band I can invest my time and interest in, right? Because you can tell when a band is just like half-assing it or they're not really that serious. So I think the fact that we're all so serious about this, like really just trying to make it work, also kind of lends to the fact that we give the audience the best we got. We don't half-ass anything over here.
Cool. And here's to seeing you guys kick some major ass this year, and hopefully, if it all goes well, a Sri Lanka show.
Yeah, I can make that happen. Let's go.
Hey!
Yeah, we'll make the journey down there for sure. Thank you so much for doing this. This has been excellent. Really appreciate you giving us the time here. This has been really awesome. A pleasure to meet you. And
likewise. And like they say in Sri Lanka, Jai Weva.
Jai Weva. Always the thing.